Okay, who are you and where are you from?
My name is Sam Frisher. I was actually born in Israel, but I've been in the state 42 years, and I'm an American citizen also.
And you are the owner of...
I'm part owner. This is a corporation. My wife and me are together owning it.
of this hotel. What's the name?
The name is Trovatore Motel,
And in Kingman, Arizona.
Kingman, Arizona.
So you were telling me earlier this afternoon that you, as a small businessman, have been really affected by this year in COVID.
Yeah, the last year and a half since the COVID started, we had almost no travelers. We used to get people from all over the world. They will do Route 66 or they will go to the Grand Canyon. We had people who came all the way from every country in the world to do Route 66. They will come in buses, classic cars, rental cars, motorcycles, or walking or even bicycling. And we had the place full of mostly tourists from all over the world. We have 50 units in this place. Half of it was for tourists that came from all over the world. Or even buses will come from Vegas. There's almost every hotel, there's buses going towards the Grand Canyon. So this place was full for about, on the average, 10 months a year. It will be completely full to the point where we don't have any more rooms.
And yet, this year, you had to go to the city council, I guess.
Yeah, well, the last year and a half, we had problems with this, that we had no guests from either the United States, local people, or whatever. The only thing we had was kitchenettes in the back, and that's how we survived half of the place. We gave to people monthly stay. Even some of them didn't even pay to stay because they said that either the president or the governor, tell them that they don't have to pay their. We couldn't take them to court if they didn't pay, so we couldn't do an eviction, and so we suffer tremendously. We just had, instead of a profit, we have a loss.
You had a loss.
Yes.
And you went to the city council and asked for some relief?
I went to the city council more like because my water bill was going a little bit too high. I had a broken pipe underneath the ground, which was even harder to find where it is, and he went to the tune of almost $12,000 water bill, and I couldn't afford to pay it, so I went to the city, and they are working with me. That's it. And some relief came from that, but I never asked for a PPP or anything. We just sort of, like, me and my wife stayed in the room and survived it somehow, to the tune of even using my wife's social security to actually pay for the loan, because we do have a mortgage on the place also.
So you were down to actually using Social Security to keep up with your payments.
My wife's Social Security was actually helped for a few months to actually keep.
Why didn't you go for the PPP?
Because at that time we had no workers, and we figure, it's not worth the time to go to all of the hoopla to get actually. I was in the middle of actually one loan to another loan, so when we went to our bank, the bank told us that maybe we should go to the SB and see if you can apply for a small business loan. We applied for it, and that's nothing was the covert. That was actually the end of one loan. We applied for it, they denied first, and then they approved it on a second time. We're still working to get that loan, which I don't know when it will happen, even if it ever happen. But meantime, in the last months, there is a recovery in the United States where people are actually traveling all across. They're coming from either California or from Texas, coming into this town. Arizona is having a boom in housing boom, in people are moving to live here because it's actually a little bit less money than actually California.
And so here in the end of April, you're seeing some recovery in this COVID year.
Yeah, we're seeing some recovery as people are getting vaccinated. I think they're actually getting a little bit more to travel, plus maybe the stimulus package that was given by the government. Not that I got any yet. I never got my stimulus. Only the first one, the $1,200, the $600, or the $1,400 never came. And this is what we basically doing. Basically, we have to say thank you to all these people who are coming right now. But this was a very tough year. I never had a year like this in my life. Not to mention, and you are a proud person if you come from another country and build a business from zero almost. So you don't want to ask for help from people.
Have you had COVID? I see you have a plexiglass window here. You're masked. Have you been vaccinated?
I'm 64 years old, and my wife today, she is 69. And we never had COVID. We wasn't tested, but we wasn't sick the whole time. And we made it actually staying in one of the rooms here. It's a small room, like normal room, and that's where we stay. And we made it somehow without getting any.
We're fully vaccinated.
And now we're fully vaccinated. We got the Moderna, we got the first shot and second.
And have you known anyone who's had it, or?
Okay, yeah, we know a few people that had it, even in this complex here, and we was giving rooms monthly in the back, and at least three of the people had covert, and at that time the city quarantined them basically, and the health department was involved a little bit with that. And since both of them are actually Native American, so a little bit was the tribe was involved also. They gave them food and all kind of stuff. Basically they recovered. They went to the hospital twice or whatever, and they recovered from it. Me personally, I'm a diabetic, and obviously I'm a heavy set person, so I have to watch myself. So I basically did not get close to anybody. Although the health department came and asked us if we can turn this motel to a covert place, and they will actually put a guard here, and and they will clean the rooms and clean the vents and all the air condition to do it for the covert. But we decided not to do it because we had at that time about 15 people local that stayed in the back, and I just did not want to start doing this kind of stuff.
I see.
Because in a way, it gives you a bad name. Not that I don't want to help people, I would like to help everybody, but it gives this place a bad name, and then when the tourists start showing up back again, it will be a place that was people stay for the covert. But overall, I would like to say that it's a small town, so it's easy to actually survive covert in a small town than actually a big, huge city. Because it's small, it's not that much. There's 28,000 people living in Kingman, and they control it pretty good, so it wasn't a big problems in Kingman.
And yeah, you said also because it's out west, a lot of people stay to themselves, and then there's a lot of distance between people already.
Although about 50 miles away from us, there is the Indian reservation, and they had a lot of problems there. They had, it's called the Wallapai Nation, and they had a lot of problems there because they didn't have enough beds, and because so a lot of them was quarantined there. And they actually closed the whole. There's a hotel on the way if you was coming towards here, and they closed the whole town there.
Now, you have been trying to stay away from, you're a hotelier. That is a very people-oriented job, but you are now living in in a small room, away as much as you can from other people.
I don't really go to like Walmart.
You're a bit fearful for your own health, and I'm wondering, in the last year, have you been more anxious about life and death and things like that?
Of course, this is normal. This is a normal thing that you don't sleep nights, and you think that you're not breathing something or whatever. But that's a part of basically anxiety, because there's covert around you, and there is 570,000 people dead in the United States, and it's not only you hear it on the news, and the news was a lot. A part of the news is very conflicted. It's like if there will be a body in the United States of just like the CDC, the only one that will give information from opinion from doctors with data behind it, then it will be much better than just reporters saying this or that and this and that. And basically the United States have a mistake of having too much information from everywhere. Internet.
You didn't know who to trust.
You don't know what to do, basically. And obviously, because I believe in science, so you want to trust the doctors. And of course, my doctors, the only way I would talk with my doctors was by phone. He will actually call me by the phone. That's it. We couldn't even go and see our own doctors. And so...
Have you been socially distancing from family and friends too?
Basically, I'm socially distanced from everybody during that time of the covert. I was overall, but although I do sit in a lobby and talk with people, I have plexiglass in front of me. I wear a mask, and I try to stay away from people. And when we go into rooms, when we clean them, we use gloves, and we clean the filters of every air conditioner. We do all kind of stuff.
Has there been any good that came out of this year? Some people have said they've grown closer to their spouse or developed a new hobby. So has anything good in retrospect happened this year?
You get to appreciate the person next to you more than what you was used to. And anyway, because I'm a diabetic who take insulin and have neuropathy, my wife anyway helped me to even put my shoes on. So I'm all the time close to my wife, and she's close to me. I try to help her, she helped me. And we stayed in one room, watched a lot of TV, maybe ate too much. There is a friend of mine told me a good joke. He was saying to me that he have a new diet that he's on. So I asked him, what's his diet? And he say, in the morning he only eat a half a piece of toast. What do you eat for lunch? I asked him. He say, half an apple. I said, wow, this is pretty good. What do you eat for dinner? He say, half of the fridge. So this is how we survive in the covert. At night you eat more, you watch more TV. And anyway, we was closing here and there very early. We had not that much people, so it was easy like this to just, at that point, financially, this was a devastating year.
Now that's what I wanted to get to, is the future. Do you see your business coming out of this, Arizona coming out of this? Do you see masking as the new normal?
So masking the new normal is not the end of the world. I've been to Japan even 40 years ago when I traveled, before even I came to the state. And people, it's a respect to actually wear a mask. So if somebody is ever cold or something is, they wear a mask in Japan. They are one of the cleanest people in the world, and I believe that mask will be a norm, and which is okay, and it's not the end of the world. We have to look at this as just humanity. Humanity is going to be here regardless. If we treat it the right way, we will survive this also. So we have to be nice to each other. I don't believe that much in the politic where Donald Trump is saying, put some bleach in your vein. You cannot do this kind of stuff. It has to be by science.
I can cut away. I'll come back. Now we're back, and so the last question is: looking back over the year, are you philosophical about it? Oh, by the way, you didn't tell me. Are you optimistic about the future? And then some final thoughts on the year.
Okay, so you have to be. I'm an optimistic person, regardless. It doesn't matter what. Not everything is doom and gloom. You have to think about the future. We have a new president, and if we give him a little bit chance, maybe a lot of this stuff will work. The science will do its thing, and if we can handle each other as people, and Americans are kind of, and I'm an American myself, Americans are kind of leery about each other regardless. So if we can be a little bit more positive about stuff and help people who need the help, we will get out of this in the right way. It's for the new generation, the young people who come behind us, to see if they can learn from this pandemic. Because pandemics will come all the time. So if you learn something from all of this, is we're going to live in this planet regardless. We just have to understand that there is stuff that we cannot foresee all the time. And if we do, then we should actually try our best to have enough masks, enough PPP, enough doctors, enough study to learn and also help everybody in the world. Not only rich or poor, just everybody. Help India, help small little nation, help Africa, because we live in one planet. It's the same about the climate control, it's the same about everything. We just have to learn to actually help each other and maybe make one body in the United States that will control pandemic only. And that's the only one that we will listen to. And maybe we can set up even in the UN a plan for the whole world to help the whole world to recover from it. Because you can't just say one person will get this and one person will not. Everybody should get the same treatment, rich or poor. And we'll survive it. The motel business will continue. Arizona will recover because in Arizona we have few, like the Grand Canyon, few places like Sedona, places that people come to see from all over the world. And maybe American will start traveling in America more and understand that there is all of this beauty in the nature, and definitely Arizona is maybe one of the most beautiful states that there is in the United States. So people will come and the hotel motel business will recover slowly, but will recover because there is a lot of nature to see in the United States. It's a vast country that people should travel and maybe enjoy more doing this instead of going all over the world to other places. And we should help each other as much as possible. Fix the roads, do all kind of stuff.
Well, that was terrific. Thank you. It is April the what is it? The
28th.
The 28th, 2021. Thank you very much for that international opinion and those opinions on the small business and your personal views. Thank you.
Important note. These interviews attempt to follow how Americans live their daily lives in a pandemic, their behavior, and personal belief systems. The views expressed are not those of journalist Michael Sean Comerford, nor any affiliated organizations, past or present. No interview should be considered an endorsement of the opinions expressed by the interviewee. These pandemic-focused interviews document a wide range of views held by individuals along Route 66 from February to May 2021.